G'day guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Get Tasty. My name's Gus, and today I'm going to show you guys how I make my braised lamb shanks on a bed of creamy mashed potato served with sauteed green beans and broccolini. So let's get in the kitchen, let's get cooking. Alrighty guys, so for our ingredients. For the broccolini and the green beans, pretty straightforward. That's them there. Green beans, broccolini. I'll show you how I saute them later. We've got rosemary, we've got thyme, extra virgin olive oil, oregano, cumin. We've got tomato paste. This is infused with caramelized onion. This is really nice, adds a nice flavor and touch. Then we've got caramelized onion jam, which also adds a nice touch. Bit of Worcester sauce, bay leaves, garlic and onion, a shallot, carrots, celery sticks, some chicken stock, salt and pepper at the back if I haven't already mentioned. The star of the show, 4 beautiful, thick, meaty lamb shanks. And then for the mashed potato, we have potatoes, sour cream, Philly cheese, Western Star butter, and again, I'll show you exactly how I make my mash later on in the video. All right, guys, just for reference, 4 sticks of celery sliced. We've got 2 large carrots peeled and sliced. We've got 4 garlic cloves peeled and sliced as well. And then 1 large onion and 1 shallot. All right guys, so from here we've got our beautiful lamb shanks, 4 of them here, and all we need to do now is just lightly season them, nothing extravagant, just a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, and then we're going to get them into a hot pot with some olive oil just to sear all the outside. Make sure that the searing is done to the whole exterior of the lamb shank just to hold in all that flavor. And then from there, we'll crack on with the recipe. Pepper. Cover it generously. Add it in. Then flip them over. And do the same again. Tap it in. Massage it all in. Like that. Beautiful. All right, now we can get these and start searing them. Okay, so we start with a nice hot flame. Get that pot nice and hot. And then as soon as it is, we'll add some olive oil. And these shanks are quite large, so I'll be doing 2 at a time. And as soon as they are seared on all sides, you just put them aside on a plate until you've seared all of your shanks, and then we'll continue with the recipe. Okay, now that the pot is nice and hot, we'll go in and add some olive oil just to cover the whole base of that pot. Move it around so it covers the whole surface evenly, and it's time to get the shanks in. So again, these are quite large, so I'll start with 2 at a time. So in the meantime, while you are searing your shanks, you want to turn on your oven to 180 degrees. I'll put that on fan bake. Alright, so we preheat the oven. So as soon as it's all been seared, that'll get nice and hot. We'll continue with the recipe. We'll cook our vegetables, add the stock and the wine and all the other good stuff. And then we can stick it all into the oven. And that's going to slow cook at 180 for 3 hours, but we'll get to that soon. That looks beautiful. As you can see, they're all starting to get a beautiful sear around the whole exterior of the shank. Not too long on each side, just to give it that crispy golden brown look. And then you can get your next set on. Absolutely. Cheers. Good old bush chook. Alrighty, so your shanks should look something like that. Nice and seared all around the outside, top and bottom. Just got the other two to go and we can start cooking our veggies. Right, so in the same pot that you were cooking the lamb shanks just then, a little bit more oil, just a tad. I had to drain some out because they were quite watery, they had been frozen. Okay, so the oil goes in. And then we are going to add our onion and shallot. All right, and we'll cook these for a couple of minutes, just so those two can mix together. Give it a good stir so it picks up all the flavoring from the lamb that was just cooking. That's what it looks like right now. Beautiful. Okay, and then in a couple of minutes time we will add our celery and our carrot. All right, so that's been cooking for about 2 minutes now. Onions looking translucent, it's smelling beautiful. Now we add our carrots and our celery. I actually hate celery, but it adds beautiful flavor, ironically, whenever you're making any type of meal like this. Even for like a stew, for example, celery, carrot, onions is like your staple to get it all going, to make a big bowl of goodness. And yeah, over time I kind of just adjusted and adapted to using celery. Like I said, I don't like it, but it really does add a lot of flavor to the meals. And the truth is once it's all cooked, once it's all been mixed in thoroughly, and you serve up whatever you're eating, you don't even taste it. It's not like grabbing a stick of celery and just biting into it. Once it's been cooked and it's mixed through with all the other flavors and ingredients, it kind of goes away, but it does mix in nicely with all the other veggies to give pretty much every meal a beautiful taste and flavor. So yeah, go the celery. So as you can see, that's looking really beautiful. All your veggies mixed in there, carrot, celery, onion, shallot, olive oil. Looks amazing, smells amazing. Let it cook for a little longer, then we can add our garlic, and then we'll get our paste in as well. Okay, so that's been cooking for about 5 or so minutes. Just gonna add a little bit of pepper, about a teaspoon. Just like that. Same again with salt. All right. Now we're gonna add in our garlic. And again, like I always say, guys, garlic cooks very, very quickly. So just turn down your heat. Mix this all through thoroughly. Oh mate, as soon as that garlic went in there, the smell that came out was just absolutely incredible. All right. All right, so now we'll let that cook for a minute and we'll get our paste in. All right, so in goes the Legos tomato paste infused with caramelized onions. And you want to get 2 heaped tablespoons of that. And mix it through. This is going to give it some volume. Thicken it up a little. Yeah, wow. Put the heat down a tad. So right now it's on like just below medium heat. Beautiful. So if you have a look, that's what that looks like with a bit of paste now through it. All right. Then we grab red wine, which I forgot to mention earlier. Apologies. And you want to add about half a bottle. Which is, yep, about that. Give that a mix. So that's a Shiraz that I'm using. It is lamb. Lamb has a strong flavor. Not everybody likes lamb, but I think lamb's beautiful. It's just how you cook it. This is gonna give it an absolutely beautiful flavor once it goes into the oven and everything starts to cook evenly and together at 180 degrees. Whoops. All right, so that's mixed in now nicely. So that's gonna bubble away there at a medium heat. So the wine is going to reduce. In the meantime, you can add 2 teaspoons of the caramelized onion jam. So this is quite sweet, guys. This is going to add a sweetness to it. You'll thank me later and you'll notice a difference in the sauce at the very end. And give that a good mix. And that's looking incredible. So that's going to bubble away and simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes. And as soon as that's done, we'll add the next ingredients. So that's been cooking for about 5 or 6 minutes. As you can see, it's nice and thick. It's nice and dark. The wine has infused with all the veggies. It's now at a low simmer. That absolutely looks perfect. So in the meantime, as you can see here, we have rosemary and thyme, which I'm going to chop up soon and then throw it into that pot, and then we add the stock. Obviously we're cooking with lamb, so you absolutely use rosemary and thyme. I can't think of 2 other better herbs to use. Nice. All right, so there's the rosemary and thyme, just roughly chopped up. That's going to go in there. Right, give it a mix it through nicely, make sure that it blends in with everything else in the pot. Okay, while we're here, we will also get some oregano, about a teaspoon, little bit of cumin. This is in the powder, not too much, but just a sprinkle. About there, half a teaspoon. Okay. Then we get our chicken stock. You can use beef stock or chicken stock. I prefer to use chicken when cooking with lamb. This is 4 cups or 1 liter. Get that in nicely. Mix it all together. Anything that's stuck to the walls, don't forget to grab that as well. As I always say, that adds flavor to the meal. Then just quickly, you want to grab some Worcestershire sauce. This adds a bit of zing to it. Not much. I had about a teaspoon left in there, so we'll throw that all in. Okay, this is beautiful stuff to use, Worcestershire sauce. I use it in most of my stews as well. I'll do a stew video later on down the track. but this also adds a really nice touch to it. So again, mix that through, nice and thorough. Okay, this has been on a low heat for the last 3 to 4 minutes. Okay. Alrighty. Next we add bay leaves. Only need about 3 or 4. If they're small, add about 5 or 6. If they're big, add 3. Bay leaves always add a beautiful touch. So that's gonna soak in and release its flavors as well. Okay. Turn the heat up a little. Bring that to a gentle boil. And then as soon as that starts to bubble, we'll add in our shanks and then stick her in the oven. Alright, as you can see, that's coming up now to a gentle boil. It's time to add the shanks back in, mix it well, cover it with alfoil, and then straight into the oven. Okay, now it's time to add in our shanks. As you can see, they've beautifully been seared. Look at those bad boys. Yum. Alright, so we'll throw that in. Throw that in there. Just like that. Big boy down the end. Alrighty. So they've all now gone in. As you can see, covered beautifully. Okay. Now I'm gonna put the heat down, or turn it off I should say. Make sure it's all submerged. Just like that. If you need to, add a bit of water from the kettle, just to give it a little bit more volume. Make sure everything is completely covered. Just like that. Alright. Man, that smells awesome. Okay, and then, like I said, we'll put some alfoil on there and stick it in the oven. Alright guys, so what I've done here now is I've got my potatoes, which I've cut into small cubes. As you can see, they've been sitting in water just to remove a bit of the starch. I also have a pot on the cooktop at the moment heating up the water, so then I'll be throwing in the potatoes and get them to cook, and then once they're nice and soft we'll pull them off and I'll show you how to make the creamy mashed potato. Alright, and as you can see here we've got broccolini, which I've just washed. I'll just cut off the ends, just the stems like that. And then we have our green beans that are packaged in the bag. That's all going to go into some boiling water as well, and for about 15 minutes just to soften them up, and then they'll go onto the frying pan with a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper and garlic butter. Alright, so there's the green beans and the broccolini, which will be boiling for the next 15 minutes just to make them nice and soft and tender. And the potatoes are boiling there, so as soon as these two are ready, I'll get the mash done, and then we can carry on with sauteing the greens. Alright, so the potatoes have boiled. I've just strained them. So we get 50 grams of butter. Then I like to put two teaspoons of Philly, like that. Sour cream, again 2 heaped teaspoons. Salt, pepper. Roughly about a teaspoon as well. And then we just mash it up. So as you can see, now after mashing that all up, mixing through all those ingredients, we've got a nice fluffy mashed potato. All right, we'll serve that up shortly with the shanks. Alrighty, so it's time to get the shanks out. Let's have a look. Oh yes, have a look at that. That looks perfect. Okay. All right guys, so there's the green beans and the broccolini. That's now boiled. Just gonna drain the liquid. Now we just get the pan to get warm. All right, so now that the pan's nice and hot, just put a little bit of olive oil. About a teaspoon is plenty, just to cover the surface of the pan. When it's nice and hot, the oil spreads nice and easy like that. Put your heat down to just below medium, and then we can add our greens. Make sure that mixes through nicely. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and my absolute favorite, garlic butter. That'll melt through it nicely, give it a beautiful flavor. And that is pretty much it. So the shanks are done, the mash is done. These guys are going to cook for about 2 or 3 minutes. Just give them a gentle stir. They've got olive oil, they've got salt, they've got pepper, they've got garlic butter. That's pretty much all you need. And then once we're ready to serve, we will make the plate look nice and pretty. And yeah, enjoy the meal. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this video. As you can see, that's my braised lamb shank, creamy mash, and green beans and broccolini sauteed on a fry pan. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification button so it lets you know every time I've uploaded a new video. Go ahead and make it. Tell me what you think. Put a comment in the section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.